Hi ho! I got Bohemian Dawn, Jack's Abbey's Czech style pale lager, and it's a sort of a lower alcohol one. They don't call it a pilsner because a lot of times people, at least in America, think of a pilsner as being a little stronger. But in Czechia, the Czech Republic, whatever you want to call it, they have a whole bunch of these pale lagers and different strength levels, kind of like. In England, they have different bitter levels. They have session bitter, ordinary bitter, best bitter, extra special bitter. They're all basically pale ales of varying strength. And this one is 11 Plato, and it's 4% alcohol. So the 11 or 10 Plato Pilsners are the session ones, but then they can get up to, 12, even stronger Plato, and those tend to be a little stronger. So this one it's in their summer variety pack, even though it's currently winter right now, and this was canned February 16th, but at least it's nice and fresh. I didn't clean this perfectly, but it uses just Czech ingredients, Zotz hops, Czech, they call them Czech floor malts, but floor malting is just a traditional way of malting the grains that makes them extra tasty, I guess. And it's double decocted, so they only use really pale malts, but then they take some of them out of the mash of grains and boil it vigorously to caramelize those a little bit, throw them back in. Pilsner Urquell, the classic Pilsner. If you ever get cans of that one, it's actually from Czech. And that one's rather dark because they triple decoct it and they get a lot of darkness from it. Not from using any kind of higher kilned toasty malt or caramel malt or Munich malt, none of that. And you can see this one has a little bit of color to it. It's not pale amber like Pilsner Urquell, but it's not super duper pale, and that's a real nice head, even though my glass isn't perfectly clean. So there we go. It smells quite nice. Yeah, it smells like a Czech Pilsner. And I really like these lower alcohol ones too. When they get up over 5%, they just get too boozy and too spicy. This really lets the hops and malt shine. Yeah, it's lemon peppery, but a little bit of a herbaceous quality. The ABV is so low, there's not a huge amount of malt prevalence. It's not like toasty Nilla wafers like I often get. It's like just a little bit of a toasty baguette crust. And the head's sticking around nicely. But surprisingly, a nice amount of body for 4%. Ooh, quite spicy and hoppy and bitter. Wow, nice. I wish they would just release 12 packs of this. Maybe they will. I'm not sure if this is exclusive to the variety pack, but they have brewed this before, though. I don't know if I've had it before, though. Probably. It's super hoppy. And today is March 11th, so this is well under a month old, so very fresh for a Pilsner. And a good tight carb, kind of small bubbles. The small bubbles help the mouthfeel to not feel spritzy like soda. Oh wow, this is quite bitter. Yeah, some of the other breweries that have made the style in the area, like Notch and what do you call it? A Shilling. Theirs are not quite as hoppy. They're a little bit more sweet and malty. This one is quite dry. But a good amount of body somehow. The decoction might in part do that. And we got some lacing sticking around. Still got that nice head. This is also just a great glass for drinking almost any style, I would say. There's a hint of a sulfury note, but not too much, just like a little bit of a minerally thing. Sometimes if lagers are not fermented or aged long enough, you can't blow off the sulfur, like any fermentation is going to create a little bit of sulfur compound. But since lagers are fermented kind of low and slow, it doesn't blow off as much air to blow off the sulfur. But a little bit of that is good, but wow, this is quite bitter, wow. But a really nice mouthfeel. Not quite silky, but getting close to there. And for a 4% beer, that's good. It's kind of like husky, musky malt character. It's like, it's not coming across as like sweet malt. It's definitely a malty, bready thing. And then the hops are just giving you lots of herbaceous. It's not exactly super green, grassy thing, but it's a grassy bitterness, I would say, I guess. Really nice. Maybe a 4.4. It's almost more of an American interpretation of this style, because I guess the Pilsner Urquell is pretty hoppy and bitter, but this is more than I think most Czech ones are. But never been there to have a bunch of them really fresh at the source, so I could be wrong. But this does seem like a pretty spot on little brother to Pilsner Urquell, just a little bit bigger in the hops and bitterness category. Bye.